Okay, there we go. We're back. We're back, baby. We're back. All right, all the settings are nice. Turn on the camera. Go to the stream. All right, sweet. Yeah, sorry about that. Had a problem. My recording button just would not stop recording, but also it wouldn't be recording, so I couldn't record anymore, which is really annoying. So I had to restart the whole program for some reason or another. So it is what it is. Alright. Let's start reading. I can just mount up, right? Start reading some books. Well, some capsules, I guess. Bum, bum, ba-da-dum. Interacting. As you gaze into the crystal, ancient knowledge of Zodiac flows through your mind. Daily summary, no abnormalities, no abnormalities, no abnormalities. These appear to be records of a long, lonely vigil on the moon, dating back to the beginning of Zodiac's imprisonment. Ooh, that I missed. As you gaze into the crystal knowledge of the past calamities, the record describes how with each rejoining, Zodiac's thirst for freedom grew, as did the strain on the brands. Maintaining Zodiac's imprisonment appears to tax Hydaelyn greatly. So it would seem. The records describe the Watcher's efforts to prepare in the event Zodiac broke free from his prison. The records go on to describe maintenance carried out regularly with the Loporites, though it is not clear who or what they are. Oh, the Loporites, bro. Let's go. That's a funny one, for sure. As you gaze into the crystal, a record of an unexpected visitor flows through your mind. The records note the Watcher's musings when Elidibus is spotted on the moon, though clearly not for the first time. It is clear he and his brethren have a keen interest in freeing Zodiac from his prison, and yet they have made no attempt to destroy the brands. Perhaps they prefer he remain hidden from mortal eyes until the final rejoining. Perhaps they realize we would never dare bring harm to Zodiac, so long as he remains imprisoned. Yeah, basically. Makes sense, though. And there's no point for them to release him until he's complete, right? So they have time. Did you learn anything of import? A few. So it is as we suspected. Maintaining the brands requires a great deal of her energy and focus, and this cost has grown higher with every rejoining. That would explain why contact with her has become rather infrequent since the 7th Armor Calamity. It was actually pretty frequent, though, during ARR and even Heavensward. But after that, yeah, I don't know why she got more exhausted after Heavensward, right? Maybe sending Minfilia was what made her exhausted. And stopping the wave of light. Damn, I feel like the mic... Did the mic just capture the fucking motorcycle outside? Jesus. I too made a rather startling discovery. This heavenly body we know to be the moon was in fact created by Hydaelyn. When the Watcher said he was created together with this place, I thought he only meant this facility. Truly, Hydaelyn's power are far beyond anything I could have imagined. Yeah, she created the moon, like the Elegants created Dalamud. The red moon. Thank you for affording me the short reprieve. And change back to samurai. Keep forgetting.
It is we who should thank you. The records stored here are nothing short of extraordinary. There is much we could learn of Zodiac and his imprisonment, but perhaps you could offer us more focused guidance. Pray, tell us of the calamity that came before and comes now again.
Long ago, before the Great Sundering, there was but a single world, Etheris. Stop talking. One day from within the earth, a terrible cry issued forth, affecting a profound change in all manner of life. We were not exempt. Our creation magics ran rampart, giving shape and form to thoughts of hopelessness and despair. At first, the phenomenon was limited to a single region, but quickly, so very quickly, it spread and engulfed the whole of the star.
Were the ancients ever able to deduce its source?
They were not. However, the convocation struck upon a method to predict where next the corruption would manifest. The etheric energies which flow through all of creation in the form of various currents. The currents which course through the land and the seas. Those which flow through the very air. And those of a celestial nature which encompasses both our star and this moon.
Celestial currents. I cannot say I am familiar with the concept.
Oh, you are. Nor would I expect you to be. Few scholars of our time knew of their existence. Their invaluable knowledge helped us to better understand the nature of the calamity. Like the terrestrial ones of earth and air, the celestial currents form a vast network, but the ethereal distribution is not consistent. The convocation soon realized that the inciting incidents occurred in regions where the flow was weakest. Correlation without clear cause, ultimately. Nevertheless, on closer study, a stagnancy of ether was observed in nearby currents.
And so they sought a means to harness the forces of darkness.
Oh, that's why Zodiac is darkness.
Was Zodiac conceived?
Because the ether was stagnant, so you need an active, which is darkness.
No less a power than a god's could set right the laws of nature and quicken the flow of ether within the star.
Okay, now it makes sense why he's dark. Precisely. With the advent of Zodiac, our end was averted.
Emmett Selk claimed that those who summoned Hydaelyn did so because they saw Zodiac's power as a threat. Is that true?
Indeed, there was a faction opposed to Zodiac's creation, but their aim was never to unmake him. They understood the continued preservation of the natural order was dependent on his very existence. Until we could identify and address the underlying cause of the final days, he would need remain, for his departure would set in motion those apocalyptic forces once more. Hydaelyn recognized this as well, and so rather than destroy, she sundered Zodiac, herself, and the star into lesser reflections, that she might confine him in this place. Yeah, because if he leaves for some reason, they're all gonna get fucked. But that's not the only reason she confined him. I could have sworn she beseeched me to banish the darkness, then what she told me in the Ethereal Sea was false. Perhaps she did, but as with all beings, intent is not always in accord with spoken words. It's a nice way of saying it. Ad and Zodiac are both constructs of men, approximations of perfection limited by our own imperfections. Zodiac was without question the more powerful of the two, having been born from the sacrifice of half Etheris' population. Thus was it necessary for Hydaelyn to commit herself wholly to his defeat. Still more effort was needed to confine him. Maintaining the brands taxed her greatly. With what power she dared spare, she cried out to any who might listen and offered her blessing to those who heeded her call. The words of light. I mean, think about it this way. Though it was likely within her power to do so, I believe she did not wish to speak of Aetheris and her history. Yeah, because think about it this way, man. Imagine you just start your journey and suddenly like you get the power of the Echo, and then she tells you everything about the world, and you're like, listen, that's a bit too much for me, right? it's a tiny bit too much information, you know? It's like, it's a bit too much. Like, I don't know if I want to be a part of this. It's a lot of responsibility. Like Zodiac, Hydaelyn's purpose is a reflection of her creators. They wish to look to the future and not linger in the prison of the past.
The Ascians set in motion 7 rejoinings before we came to oppose them. How many more worlds would have been lost had we not placed our faith in her? How many more souls living in the present would have been snuffed out for the sake of those long dead?
Well, in light of recent events, I see no reason to doubt your words. And even if Hydaelyn is not a god in truth, if Minfilia believes that we should trust in her plans, then I choose to do just that. Which brings me to a rather important question. Let's suppose we try but fail to stop this second coming of the final days. Should the source fall, what will become of the other worlds?
The nomenclature is more fitting than you know. Bring ruin to the source, and its reflections will share it in its fate. Yep. Ah, it is ready. This way, if you would be so kind. What is ready? Ah, I woke up. A beautiful sight, is it not?
Yes, but what is it?
Spaceship. Hadn't you better than any that her power was not absolute. Indeed, she has ever struggled to hold Zodiac and his faithful at bay. She feared the worst and so made preparations. In the event of his demise, there would be a contingency. This moon is more than a prison. It is a vessel capable of bearing the people of Aetheris to safe harbor. You need not go far to find its pilots. In fact, I should be happy to take you to them. And fulfill my final duty as Watcher in the dark. Ooh, 533 weapon. Let's go. Phrygian weapon coffer. Helping hands. The time has come for you to be on your way. The creator at the heart of Lamentorum where Zodiac was imprisoned, is not so easily traversed. However, let us call upon Argus, the familiar whom you met earlier. He should have no trouble bearing you across. As Hydaelyn created me as the Gaylor, so too did she create Argus as the guard. It is his nature to appear when needed, and yet he is nowhere to be found. Strange. Mayhap the imbalancing of ether has affected him. Let us make for the crushing brand and attempt to call upon him there. You need but recall the path you walked with Argus before, and you will find your way. If he labors in service of Hydaelyn's plan, I see no reason not to do as he suggests. Shall we make for this crushing brand then? Jump! Ish. Ish. How's it flying on? Shiba? Hey, is he level 87? No. It's over there. Yep. Is this moon lava? The place we seek is just ahead at the Kurolorofos Grot, whatever. You see, Argus cannot manifest without sufficient concentrations of ambient ether. You would be hard-pressed to find a greater confluence than inside this cavern. Follow me. Yeah, no exit here. Okay. Yes, here will do nicely. Alright. Yes, here will do nicely. The lunar spongoi draw ether from the ground, which is then dispersed in the air. At present, however, the ambient energies are not quite sufficient for Argus to manifest. Might you be willing to spare some of your own to help the spongoi along? I keep forgetting to change to summary. Argus manifests in the flesh. He seems glad to see you again. The most fascinating creation of Hydaelyn's, would you not agree? Should the need arise, he's even able to create reflections of himself on a whim. Though I assure you it was no reflection which accompanied you earlier to the brand. No, Argus was quite eager to be at your side then, as he is now, it seems. I cannot recall when last he showed such an affinity for anyone. Indeed, I thought him more likely to shy away from you and your companions. Perhaps it was more than a sense of duty that compelled him to aid you before. As for your companions... Unexpected, but greatly appreciated. I believe we're all ready. And let us return outside that you may cross the chasm. So the only way to get through is Argus flying us. Grow. Stop forgetting to do that. Your destination is the structure there across the Cradle of Darkness. But climb onto Argus's back and he will take care of the rest. Once you arrive, it should not take long to find the ship's crew. The facility is designed to rouse them from their slumber in the event of Zodiac's destruction. Heed their counsel. Together you may guide the star and its people to a kinder fate. This is where we part ways, but know that I shall ever be watching and praying for your success. Our allies' assurances notwithstanding, we cannot be certain what awaits us on the other side, so perhaps it would be best if we did not all go at once. I propose the two of us cross first while Tancred and Rianja wait here. Sure. Onward! A malefic ether yet permeates from the crater, remnants of Zodiac most likely. Just a little further. The place is massive, huh? Meant for giants, for sure. I mean, like way bigger than ancients. This structure is enormous, though that is hardly surprising given the size of the average Amarotian. No, this is like way bigger for them too. Apologies for the wait. Right then, let us head inside and oh. Most intriguing. A means by which he conserves energy, mayhap? Well, I certainly wouldn't want him to blink out of existence on our account, helpful as he has been. Thank you, Argus. We'll take things from here. Argus is to remain without. Let us not keep him waiting over long. Now the funniest part of EndWalker. Peter Pendragon. Peter. Okay. Best way borrow. God, this place is fucking massive. Holy hell.
Our moonship pilot should be around here somewhere. Is that right?
Oh god. Oh god. Oh, something's happening. Hop. Rodents. Slipping away.
Look lively, everyone! I know. This 1243rd inspection is a mite ahead of schedule, but it is of the utmost importance. For Zodiac, alas, is no more.
Oh, she's
As of now, our mighty moon has a new purpose: to bear the people of Etheris to safety. Our time has come, my friends.
finally to fulfill our purpose. Fulfill our purpose.
We must be
good.
swifter than swift. There is much to do before our guests arrive.
Mm-hmm.
I expect your workstations to be immaculate. And don't forget to relay our signal to Etheris. Questions? Yes? No? Maybe so? No? Then hop to it!
Oh my god, I love the voice acting. It just fits so well.
'Tis a rather curious crew she hath chosen. Their endearing forms intended to ease the passengers' hearts, perhaps.
Perhaps.
Thancred is not endeared. So good. Perhaps. Oh god. It must be the Loporits mentioned in the Watcher's records. Not at all what I expected, but the Watcher did bid us heed their counsel. I assume the one who gave that rousing speech was the leader, though we might have to ask about in order to track them down. Come on then, let us be about it. Oh, we're already on 84, nice. And this is this music reminds me of like some scenes in Star Wars when it's like all calm and they're just changing scenes. That's what this music reminds me of. Not sure why. I think it's a similar tone though. Like, there's a specific hum. The leader of the crew? Not me, I'm afraid. Singing Way's the name. I'm in charge of construction and maintenance of the atmospheric circulation system, only the crispest, cleanest air for the people of Etheris, and that's a promise. Such a fascinating apparatus, though it's hard to believe it could house so many crew members. Even so, there is nothing else here to suggest other types of accommodation. Oh, this is where they slept. Oh. You guys forgot to wake this one up. And that one. Weaving way. A dozen leopards. Leader? No. Sleeping way. My job is perhaps I better ask. Sleeping way. Dozing way. Hairy situation. I only saw them from a distance, but their fur was brown, if that helps at all. Okay, thanks. Thank you, that is very helpful, Tancred. Nothing way. Wait, what is nothing away? We're all going to die someday, so what if it happens a little sooner? True. A snappy loporitz. What? How in the... When did you get here? Who let you in? Why wasn't I told? Take me to your leader. What was that supposed to be? Your humming, if one can even call it that, is atrociously off-key. It should sound more like this. Thanks. As did all of the loporitz, I cannot allow substandard attempts at musicality to go unremarked, even if you are a guest. But being the magnanimous sort that I am, I'll forgive you this once. Oh well, looks like you beat us here. Your friends, I take it. Is this all of them? Yep. A group comprised entirely of children. What must their parents be thinking? This isn't a nursery after all, though perhaps we should build one. Or did we build one already? No matter, you need to worry your petty little heads. All will be well, I promise. But goodness me, we shouldn't be standing about gawping. I must take you to meet the others. Yes, please do. If you could run along back toward the entrance, you'll find a path that leads to the central platform on the upper floor. There's no wrong way to reach it, but it's the large glowing ball at the center if you should find yourselves lost. I shall gather the others and meet you there. Well then, back to the upper floor it is. Well, 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 then why not? Da, 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 dum, da, da, dee, da, dee, da, dum. Da, da, dee, da, 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 da. Snappy loporitz.
Right, of course. Introductions are in order. My name is Livingway, and we are the Loporitz. created for the express purpose of commanding this ship and bearing the people of Aetheris to a brave new world. More specifically, I am the one whom she charged with the execution of her most vital plans. You might say I'm her right paw. Mapping Ways, the name, map reader and navigator of the heavens.
Okay.
Pleasure to meet you all, but I'm still trying to make sense of this.
Confusion and bewilderment are completely understandable. Fear not, I shall walk you through it.
Thank you.
The people of Aetheris, through no fault of your own, I'm sure, set in motion a series of events.
Sure.
Unfortunately, culminated in Zodiac's obliteration.
Fault of your own, I'm sure.
Acutely aware of the imminent crisis, your parents sent you little ones on ahead while they began the necessary preparations. Still not following? No? Very well, I shall elaborate further.
They're so nice and kind. So patient.
Here we have Aetheris, your home, and the moon, where we are now. Without Zodiac around to keep things lively, so to speak, the celestial currents of the star have doubtless begun to degrade.
Oh my god.
A calamity of apocalyptic proportions will be visited upon Aetheris, bringing an end to all life. Very sad, that.
Very sad that, very.
So too hath the Watcher claimed. By thine unperturbed countenance, I gather this eventuality was anticipated.
The doom and gloom. Oh yes, quite expected.
The doom and gloom, quite expected. Oh god.
If you will, that Aetheris is a delicious carrot that I've forgotten to eat and left out in the midday sun.
Sure.
The most earnest wishes or prayers will not stop it from rotting to the core. So sadly, there's nothing to be done but to abandon said carrot, Aetheris, in case the metaphor is lost to its grisly fate.
Right.
And this moon will serve as the vessel to deliver us to a new home.
Just so! We will gather up as many people, supplies, and resources as our stores will hold. And then, once everyone is aboard, it's off to another star. Easier said than done, admittedly, for one does not simply hop from star to star on a whim, which is precisely why we've spent countless years constructing the most propulsive of propulsion systems. We ought to make it to our destination in 2 shakes of a rabbit's tail.
Impressive technology. I dare say it is beyond anything we have ever seen.
I mean, they're on the moon, so.
To shower us with praise. All we've done is faithfully carry out the instructions left to us by Hydaelyn. Back in the old days, when she was still just Venar, she was dedicated to the study of the world and its inner workings. And the Watcher, the real one, not the simulacrum you met, was one of her fellow researchers. We and this wondrous vessel masquerading as a moon are products of their knowledge and know-how.
There's certainly more to you all than meets the eye. Might I ask where exactly you intend to take us?
We identified a few promising candidates for resettlement some time ago, but we cannot guarantee that they are fit for habitation. Moreover,
that's good.
the ship can only travel in short bursts. We intend to go down our list, hopping from star to star, until we find one suitable for resettlement. No need to worry, though. The vessel is being refurbished with accommodation for an extended stay as we speak. While we did have to rely upon outside help to determine what amenities were essential, I dare say we have risen to the challenge.
Outside help?
From who?
From you and yours! Who else? Each time we woke to perform regularly scheduled maintenance, we were greeted by the resources you sent us. What better way to learn about preferences and proclivities of our present-day charges?
Wonder how many of them were Allagan.
But you're still adorable little children. Perhaps your elders were responsible for the deliveries.
I'm not sure what led you to conclude otherwise, but I can assure you that we are all grown men and women. And I very much doubt my elders know this place exists, much less how to send you so much as a starlight missive.
What? Then who in blazes let you on my moon? Heidelin herself led you here. You don't say! Well, that's really not children. Then why are you so small and stunted? Like little baby carrot people.
Well, Amarotines were a great deal taller. In the present day, persons of such prodigious size are exceedingly rare.
So, you're saying everyone's not like the Watcher?
Pretty much no one is like the Watcher.
Oh, confound it all! Someone could have at least scribbled a note about your profound miniaturization.
Wait.
That tome in thy possession.
Oh, this? One of the first books sent to us. A compendium of the people of Atheris, with a few blank pages at the back for minor corrections and updates as needed. The sum total of our knowledge of your kind is contained in these pages. I thought it was abridged and made small for our benefit, but this isn't a regular-sized book, is it?
Uh-oh. Yes.
Building way, can you hear me? Yes, we're all very busy. Change of plans. I need you to rebuild the domiciles at 1/3 the scale. All of them. Yes, all of them, and but me no buts. See to it with all speed.
Perhaps you could tell us a bit more about your terrestrial collaborators.
Yes, in due time. But first, I'd like to hear more about you, if it's all the same. I'd rather not risk any other complications due to outdated knowledge of our passengers-to-be.
So good. Fair enough. God. I love the Loporits. I do hope next expansion Loporits are an allied race. I would rather have Loporits over Lalafels any day. Adventure Way would probably be like the #1 name that everyone takes. Purple carriages. Right then, now that you're here, we need you to teach us all you can about your people, and quickly. It won't be long before the final days are upon us in all their terrible grandeur, so it is imperative that we be prepared to receive our passengers-to-be. If there's anything at all that may displease them, it must be addressed post-haste. And address it we shall. Here at Bestways Barrow, we have assembled everything required to offer our guests the best way forward. We have produced myriad amenities we understand to be essential for day-to-day living, and I wish to hear your opinions on them. I'm sure you've all worked up an appetite, so why don't we start with foodstuffs? Meet me at the Curatorium and we'll see about filling your bellies. Before that, though, let me check that the sound quality is still fine. Again, because I'm testing this program, right? Just want to make sure everything's fine. Snappy Loporits. A patient.
Here, we have a Theris. Your
Nice.
home, and the
Oh my god, I'm so happy that not only is the sound still like working, is that it's actually sounds like how I hear it. Oh, thank the Lord I finally figured it out. Nevertheless, let us take this opportunity to learn more about the Loporits and this vessel. Oh dear, I certainly hope Building Way can complete the renovations before more guests arrive. Or perhaps you should leave them as they are? That way you'd have more space to lounge about. That's what I'm thinking, yeah. Just leave them as they are, fuck it. Jump. More like falling gracefully. Yawning way, hopping way. Supporter? Why is supporter so aggressive? Wait. Welcome to the Curatorium. Here we create prototypes of the various sundries required by our soon-to-be passengers. Allow me to introduce the head of foodstuff production. Cooking Way, pleasure to meet you all. Our work has involved no small amount of trial and error, but after many cycles of painstaking labor, I dare say we have created the finest cuisine our guests could ask for. I've learned all about the essential nutrients for a healthy and balanced diet from the reference materials we received. Why, I've practically worn the words from those invaluable pages. Naturally, we have also considered ease of growth and production. We will not want for ingredients. I must insist you try some. We have fresh stock recently prepared on account of, well, because we just woke up and we're all quite famished. Hop along the platforms here and you'll find a storage unit full of bursting with delectable delights. Help yourself to anything you like. You open the storage unit and find a rainbow-colored assortment of carrots. The killer-looking blue carrot, the vibrant yellow carrot, the ominous crimson carrot. Ominous crimson carrot. Soft-textured and redolent aroma. What aroma of this crimson creation belie its staggering weight, the excessive length and girth only compound the mystery, leaving you perplexed as to the nature of this carrot. Yes. We like red carrots. On second thought, you elect to simply take an obscenely large carrot for now. Due to its bizarre qualities, it would be prudent to ask Cooking Away whether it is safe to eat first. Man, should have just eaten it. Hey, Aether Currents. Thank you very much. We take those. Hop. So, did any of our selections set your mouth to watering? Ah yes, a fine choice. One of my personal favorites, actually. Please dig in. I'm eager to hear what you think. With great trepidation, you take a bite out of the carrot. The carrot is oddly tender, but as you begin to chew, a rich aroma fills your nostrils and newfound vigor begins welling within you. The rumbling of your stomach, however, suggests it may simply be indigestion. I don't know what that means though. What do you think? Unlike anything you've ever tasted, yes? Yes. One way to put it. The iron carrot can be a bit difficult to digest, but the boost to endurance it promises makes it the perfect meal before a day of heavy lifting. We have plenty of other varieties too. Bleeding carrots to improve blood flow, dream carrots to help with sleep. So you see, we have a carrot for every occasion. But what if I don't like carrots? You like carrots? Oh, you must mean you don't like them served in this fashion. Why not? We have parried versions on hand if you haven't the time to chew. I take it you too had a wide assortment of carrots to choose from, and not else. I may ask, what exactly did these collaborators share with you about cuisine of Etheris? Surely you are aware we have an abundance of dishes and foods you could emulate. Of course we are, but, well, it was only quite recently that we established contact. Even holding a conversation was a struggle at first, so imagine our surprise when they sent a mountain of books and documents with no clear instructions. The sheer amount of information was overwhelming. If it wasn't for that encyclopedia I found, we would have been at a loss where to begin. And so we decided, rather than divide our resources to prepare a variety of middling and potentially unsatisfying meals, it would be more efficient to devote our efforts to the production of a single perfect food. That's all well and good, but men cannot live on raw carrots alone. Have you considered cooking them? You mean steaming, boiling, roasting, and the like? I suppose we could prepare the carrots in other ways. But our primary concern was efficiency, and what's more efficient than sinking your teeth into a carrot fresh from production? Rather strange approach to take for one named Cooking Way, isn't it? Well, technically speaking, Cooking Way isn't my given name. When first created, we were all named in the old tongue. You know, like that otherwise impenetrable parlance the Watcher speaks. After we received a great tome of words, a dictionary that is, from our collaborators, we learned your language. Adverbs, gerunds, present, continuous verb, conjugations, just the basics. Then we found the terms related to our given tasks and used them to form new names. Aren't they helpful? No, not really, but it does explain a great deal. Wherefore didst thy kind deem such a change necessary? When the rest of your people arrive, we want to be certain they understand immediately what each of us does. You'd never be able to pronounce our original names anyways. I see. I hope our critiques, such as they are, were helpful to you. Though if you should decide to preserve flora and fauna from Etheris as well, you would be able to offer the passengers a more balanced diet. Until such a day, one I pray comes sooner than later, it would appear there is naught but carrots on the menu. 84. What level is my sage? 85. Yeah, I should probably level this a bit. I think we have had our fill of carrots for now. Let's move on to other necessities, shall we? Our clothing production is sure to impress. This way. Clothing production. Oh god. Here we are, the apparel production station. We've chosen to employ more traditional methods for this task, creation magiques. Aileen, in her infinite wisdom, blessed us with the self-same affinity for magic her people possessed. We have other amazing talents, of course, and I know you're dying to hear about them, but I will regale you with the details another time. That said, we did run into a spot of trouble at first. Our magic alone was not sufficient to see our work done. In the end, we discovered crystallized ether was a wonderful catalyst that could provide us with the extra vis we needed. Aye, how resourceful. What is this? Ah, the sweet sound of recognition. You will also be impressed to hear we have read all about your habit of changing attire to match your chosen profession. For the sake of efficiency, I presume, this has also been taken into account with our designs. But why take my word for it when you can simply try on our clothes? Make yourselves known to the workers and they will see to the rest. Alright, fine. Guess we're fighting. Ah, it's you, one of the visitors from the terrace. Goodness me, Mappingway wasn't kidding, you really are smaller than the Watcher. Alright, you're here to try on a set of clothes, yes? How would you have me fashion for you today? An outfit that embodies my bloodlust, something simple yet functional, fashionable and refined ensemble. Yeah, I'll go with bloodlust. Embodies your what? This will only take a moment. Have to have the masks, right? There we are, all finished. Perfect fit, if I do say so myself. I would be lying if I said I understand what bloodlust is, but I assume it's something you enjoy. I made certain the clothes are flexible, yet sturdy enough to endure, whatever it is you plan to do while wearing them. Would you look at that, speechless, and there I thought you may not like it. If you have a mind to try something else, why not speak with my fellow artisans? I'm sure they'd be happy to oblige. You must continue wearing these garments in order to progress. You will change back to your normal garments if you move too far away. Look to your map for the garments changes area of effect. Speak with the restless Loporit to restore or prolong the garment change. Can I mount them? Okay, at least I can mount. Oh, I got range. Ah, no one said you'd be coming. How can I help you? You wish to try my clothes, really? Of course, it would be my honor. Did you have anything in mind? Got anything with a little more flair? I'm looking for clothes with an altogether different design. Surprise. Nah, we'll go with flair. Won't be flair. I think I can handle that. Let's see. This should do. Oh, yes. Some of my best work yet. Times and tastes truly have changed. Used to be so rare for anyone to request clothing with a focus on form over function. Thankfully, I had the spare concept for robes made using a different fabric. I think it looks rather fetching. I was worried how the concept would turn out when you put to the proof, but it looks stunning on you. Once you go and show Living Way, I'm sure she's eager to see what we have come up with. Yep. I don't mind it. I've seen way worse. My, don't we look splendid, the result of much trial and error, but I know quality work when I see it. Shh, you needn't speak. I can see your adoration for the moon and wheel upwards in your eyes. No doubt your friends feel the same, having sampled our creations. I'm sure they feel the same. Rianji. Glow in the dark. Sorry to have kept you waiting. Ah, you went for the flare too. They insisted we sample all of their concepts ere we returned. Verily, 'tis an ensemble most becoming. He's enjoying himself. He's having fun. The silence. I think it's past time we return these clothes. But... oh god. Was confident our garments would meet with your approval. Whatever are we going to do? Whatever are doing wrong. The Watcher taught us that in his time everyone wore the same robes. To do otherwise was against social etiquette. We thought we could appeal to modern taste by tailoring the robes to specific professions, but... Please, you mustn't be so hard on yourself. Should we resort to evacuating the people of Aetheris, they will most certainly have need of your attire. It is clear you spared no effort in addressing our needs, but you must understand that we are not quite so homogeneous. Speaking for myself, what I wear now better suits my taste, even if it is of inferior make. But there are others whose choices may be influenced by traditions or personal experiences. Rather than make assumptions for the whole, you must consider the individual and their potential preferences. I fear we have underestimated the complexity and diversity of your people. Even if we'd memorized every tomb we received, I doubt we'd have fared much better. Maybe we're doing you a disservice trying to shower you with our baubles and frippery, thinking it was for your benefit when you'd be better off on your own. There are some who might agree, people who prefer to keep others at arm's length, even when they know they shouldn't. As one such former fool, I'd like to ask you a question. This plan to evacuate and escape the final days, did it account for the reflections of the source as well? No. Not that I'm aware of. We were born of Hydaelyn's love for Aetheris, and the salvation of the people on that star, and that star alone, has ever been our aim. Surely it's better to devote ourselves to saving one world than to divide our efforts across 14 and risk failing them all. I suppose you're right. Logically speaking, yeah. Living Way, might we have leave to explore best ways borrow unattended? You have given us much to think about. Why, certainly. Until later, then. If I may, I should like to accompany thee a while longer. Really? I mean, you're more than welcome to. There was actually something I wish to speak with you about. Let's be off then, shall we? My apologies, I wasn't trying to spy or anything. Everyone's been talking about the visitors come from Etheris, and I want to see what all the fuss was about. I was excited first, but now I'm worried. What if the people of Etheris refuse to come? What if we can't save them? It's clear we have made a mess of things. Oh, but wait, you still haven't visited the domiciles. Once you see them, you'll understand how wonderful the moon truly is, I'm sure of it. I'll be waiting for you by the teleport near the entrance. Oh, and the name's Growing Way, by the way. See you soon. It's 11. It's level 85. Dungeon. Can't be Elpis. Elpis is like what, 86? 87? Oh shit, it was downstairs. Idiot. Let's see. Should be Elpis though. Shouldn't? It's Elpis and then... Yeah, so it has to be Elpis next. Oh no, it's Radzatan. Radzatan's next. Hello, I'm coming, Growing Way. You're here. You're really here. Thank you. Thank you so much. Sorry, what should I call you? You'll be on the coach, eh? Crikey. Even your names are amazing. Well, Femina, I'll be using this teleport to enter the residential area. Whenever you're ready.
Ready in the teleporter. Huh? Access to living quarters restricted due to reconstruction. Then where is it? Oh no!
Good job, Growing Way. Oh.
A private audience, as thou didst request, for reasons I know not.
Just a precaution. I'd rather I didn't have to ask the question at all, but I take my responsibilities very, very seriously. Do you and your friends, by any chance, find our accommodation wanting? Be honest, brutally even.
'Twould be ungracious of me to belittle the efforts of thee and thine.
Lovely sentiment, really. But the disappointment is writ plain on your comrades' faces. It's all the more frustrating since no one will come out and say what they find wanting. If there are faults in our work, we need to know. We can, we will do better. But time is not on our side. The final days will wait for no one. If your people are to be saved, we must take quick and decisive action. This vessel must serve as a home for as many passengers as possible, for far longer than we may like. Which brings me to my request. Our collaborators on Etheris are doing what they can to prepare for the voyage. Would you be willing to go and lend them a hand? Having seen the moon for yourself, you could speak to its many splendors, learn what else they might require, and assuage whatever concerns they have.
Wherefore wouldst thou entrust me with such a task?
How to put it? You're the only one who appears not to be wholly unsatisfied with our work. Oh, quite good at pretending that's the case, at least. Calm, collected, tactful to a fault. Very particular with your words, too.
Very particular.
You understand that, in the face of great danger, one cannot pursue perfection at the expense of practicality. The difficult choices must often be made for the greater good.
And so fate doth conspire to set my feet upon this path once more.
Which path? Secrecy?
Come again?
Ah, idle musings. 'Tis no trifle thou dost ask. Yet full well do I understand the urgency and necessity.
Oh, dear me! Dear me! I was terribly sorry for the mix-up. It's a bit of a malfunction. I hadn't realized the residential quarters were inaccessible, you see. But you're still in one piece. So, all's well that ends well, yes? Won't happen again. I promise.
The litter of the leopards has changed just like that. Gosh, that was embarrassing. I promise to be more careful from now on. Since the residential quarters are closed for now, I have rerouted the teleporter to allow travel between floors instead. Hopefully it proves useful in the meantime. A shame you couldn't see it though, you really would have liked it. Oh, nice. It may not seem like it, but we've been planning for this far longer than I'd care to admit. Each time we woke up, we'd have long discussions about how to save as many of you as we can. Felt like everyone had an opinion on this or that. But the one thing we all agreed upon was that the people of Etheris wouldn't take action to save themselves until it was far too late. That's why we are striving to make the moon a vibrant, magical place so they'd hop at the chance to visit, rather than waiting for the flames of oblivion to get them off their tails and force them to accept our invitation. The residential quarters may not be up to the necessary standards just yet, but there are plenty of other places worth seeing. You have already had a look around the curatorium, but wait until you see what's waiting for you at the east end of the barrow. Follow me. When is the Highland trial? Is it 87 or 89? Means the dungeon's also 87. But that doesn't make sense. It has to be 89 or 88. Because we're doing 84 now. 84 doesn't have a dungeon. 85 is probably Radzat Han. And 86, 87 should be, what's it called? Helpus. Then 88, 89 should be Heidelin. And then 90 is the last dungeon, and and trial, right? So if we look at dungeons, 71, 73, 75, 77, 79. Okay, so there is a 79 and 80. Okay. And if I look at Stormblood, 61, 65, 67, 69. Okay, so there's always a dungeon right before. Okay, so yeah. So Hydaelyn is 79, 89. Good, you're here. Through this door is greatest end slave. And what? It was named as such because it's the veil to end all veils, or end veils. The most beautiful forest you'll ever see. We understand the people of Etheris enjoy taking leisure walks through natural spaces and the like, so I'm sure you'll enjoy it. How about we start with a nice stroll to the fountain? This way. A forest of what, though? So, what did you think of the forest? Isn't positively pleasant? Simply sublime? Couldn't see the forest or the trees. I didn't see any... Wait, you don't mean those crystals out there? It is as transcendent as burying your face in a chocobo's plumage and taking a good long whiff. I mean, I know I want to be mean, but like, holy fuck. Sorry, growing way. You really think so? Truly? Hearing you say that means more to me than you know. Personally, I'd say this place is the pride of the bar. Building this place was a challenge, let me tell you. Since we were born here, we have never seen trees in person before, let alone a forest. The information sent by our collaborators was quite enlightening, but after much deliberation we decided to use crystalline constructs in place of living trees. And thanks to our atmospheric circulation system, this place produces air as clean as you'd find in a forest of Etheris. The fountain here behind us, powered by the rather large crystal adorning its top, plays a vital role in supplying us with fresh water. Much time and effort was spent making it the most spherical of spheres, and I dare say the unparalleled roundness speaks for itself. I enjoy nothing more than a nice long stretch and a spot of relaxation whenever I come up here. You look like you could do with a stretch yourself. That's the spirit. I feel more relaxed simply watching you. A sight worth the many years spent building this place. It's not too much to ask. It's always been a dream of mine to take a walk through this forest with someone from Etheris. Could we maybe? Sure. You will? Oh, be still, my quivering whiskers. I was thinking, Filmina, that I could be more helpful to you by teaching you a little about the moon and what it is we do. When we were first created, the moon's sole purpose was to hold Zodiac, and there was absolutely nothing to be found here. Eventually, Hydaelyn gave us our first task, furnish the moon with propulsion systems capable of facilitating travel to other stars. It sounds impressive, and I suppose in some respects it is, but it was only possible thanks to all the knowledge Hydaelyn shared with us. We also had a lot of time to get it done, 6,000 years, give or take. But anyway, let's keep going. So that's how long it's been, 6,000 years since she locked Zodiac. That's good, now we know the timeline. This may come as a surprise, but we didn't begin building the habitable areas until after the propulsion systems were ready. Considering how long it took, I wish we'd started sooner. Who would have thought we'd need 4,000 years to make all this? It certainly wasn't work you dared rush, either. We had to create infrastructure and countless supporting systems, some of which wouldn't be operational until hundreds of years later. And then there was that brief period where our productivity came to a screeching halt, when that bizarre red satellite was sent up from Etheris, the Elegant's mischief, I think. We thought maybe some new nefarious actor was colluding with Zodiac. All we could do was stand by and brace ourselves for the worst. I can't tell you how relieved we were when Hydaelyn informed us of its destruction. Oh yes, there was much joyous humming that day. Oh. A wrong click. Say, do you notice anything peculiar about the retreat tops? I mean, apart from the fact that they're massive crystals and not trees. I'll give you a hint. It's the golden rings emanating from the glowing spheres. Along with the device fixed near the ceiling, they fulfill a role similar to your sun, and do so better, even. The sun and similar celestial objects in the great expanse radiate energy that is harmful to your bodies, so these rings shield you from that energy while allowing you to bathe in the perfect amount of sunlight, or rather, a close approximation of it. Vitamin D! Pretty impressive, wouldn't you say? Oh, and if you look closely, you'll see different types of trees have ever so slightly different curvatures. Yes, indeed, this forest truly is the greatest. There was something else I want to tell you about. Alright. The propulsion systems and habitat facilities were completed around 2,000 years ago, and with that, the most important features were fit for purpose. Which was all well and good, except we still knew absolutely nothing about the present-day people of Etheris. Why not go and visit Etheris yourself, you might ask? Strictly forbidden. Were our technology or knowledge of the moon's true purpose exploited for evil ends, the results could be disastrous. Then there were a few more rejoinings, and it became increasingly difficult to converse with Hydaelyn. Fearful we might lose the ability to communicate with her altogether, we beseeched her to find people on Etheris we could trust to help. We were quite fortunate everything worked out as it did. With the exception of routine inspections and maintenance, we remained asleep and waited, hopeful Hydaelyn would find someone who would help us. Eventually she did, and though her power was waning, we were able to speak to them directly for a short while. We shared with them everything we could, including our knowledge of the heavens and the means to travel here to the moon. They certainly didn't waste any time with what we taught them. No more than a few years after that, our collaborators found a means to convey messages and supplies to us from down below. With all the letters, books, and other resources they sent, we learned enough to start making more meaningful changes to the moon. And now you're here, hopefully enjoying yourself as much as I am. Sure. I knew you would like Great Endsvale, I knew it. Thank you again for coming here, by the way. I know it was just a walk through the forest, but it meant a lot to me. There you are. I take it you have already received the Grand Tour? A shame we missed it. Growing Way, I've been looking all over for you. Oh, is this about the teleporter to the residential area? No, never mind that. We have more pressing matters at hand. I will be calling an emergency meeting shortly, and your attendance is required. Really? Can't imagine why you'd need me there, but if you insist. We won't be away long, so you all are more than welcome to continue looking about the barrow. Now, come along, Growing Way. Before we arrived, you seemed to be in the midst of a rousing conversation with your guide. Did you learn anything of import? You have spent 12,000 years preparing for this. Thought you said 6. With the appointed hour fast approaching, I can certainly understand their restlessness, but still. It remains to be seen if the people can be persuaded to evacuate when there are yet no signs of the final days. What's more, the technology of this place defies imagination. I doubt there are many who would readily come to terms with living in such surroundings. Whoever these collaborators are, unless they are possessed of the world's most charming personalities or a means to forcibly evacuate people, they will meet with a great deal of resistance. Indeed, even if faced with annihilation, the decision to forsake all one knows cannot be made lightly. Forgive me, friends, but I must beg your leave. There is another matter which yet begs for mine attention. Of course, we can accompany you if you like. Nay, that will not be necessary, if you will excuse me. It is clear now that difficult decisions lie ahead of us. Preparations for the evacuation of Aetheris is indeed crucial, but I am not yet willing to forsake our world and its reflections, and I trust I am not alone in my reticence, whatever that means. Back to old tricks. The Ruyan just seems strange to you, more so than usual, I mean. I know he has a penchant for keeping his own counsel, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried. Would you go and see if he's alright? Mishtal and I will remain here and see what else we can learn about the final days. If you hurry, perhaps you can catch up to him. Camping away. Range appears to be heading towards the entrance to Bestway's Burrow. This is not the teleporter? Oh. This guy's still there. Holy shit. Manager ventures off into Mare Elementorium for reasons unknown. You must tread carefully, else he might sense your presence. Why are we spying on our good friend? Yep. Follow him from a distance, hide behind covers, yada yada yada. Hmm. Who's there? I don't know, man, haven't moved in a while. Oh, come on. Come the fuck on, man. Some bullshit. I want to try something though. It always turns from the right. I want to see something. Yeah. Or does he have a detection? Oh, okay, yeah. If I'm close enough, okay, never mind. So what I thought was, because I can see where he's looking, if I can just stay to the side of that at all times, he won't be able to see me. And he always turns through the right side. So thought maybe I could just like be right next to him the whole time. But how is he still in the cinematic, bro? Oriente, ain't got time for your shit. Oh. Hmm. Turn around, brother. Who's there? What are you hiding? Who goes there? What are you hiding? Run. I'm gonna get you. Man, so close to begin with. Kinda BS, not gonna lie. Literally stopped him where the quest ends on the first try. BS.
Thine arrival is timely as ever.
Then why were you running away, bro? Didn't matter.
Thou didst chance to overhear my conversation with Living Way, I presume?
Yeah, maybe. Just not the conclusion of it.
'Twas not mine intent to move in shadow. Nevertheless, I have been asked to do that and more yet again. Is it so plain that these strangers could intuit it at a glance? My capacity for silence and secrecy and duplicity? When Grahatir did contrive to deliver the first at the price of his own life, I was complicit in the scheme. A sacrifice averted for a mercy. Would that I could say the same for Minfilia. One life for one world. And by that bloody bargain brokered by my hand were the scions robbed of a dear comrade, and Flamine her beloved daughter. Two souls, whose selflessness was beyond measure, whose resolve was unshakable. They would not be moved even had I thought to protest. But protest I did not. Far from it. I pushed them forward.
Yep.
No effort did I make to seek out alternatives. Ones that would not demand such terrible costs. That resignation weigheth heavy on my mind, as does the memory of another lost to mine inaction. Dearest Moonbringer, who did face death unflinching, that we might secure a means to bring low the Ascians.
Yep.
In her hour of need, I did naught. Dutiful disciple of Louisoix, ever looking to the greater good. Had I shut mine eyes and bid her live instead, mayhap she would be with us today.
I think we would all be dead if she didn't die.
Selfish wants, born of everlasting regrets. Most days I put them from my mind, but could think of naught else when asked to swallow the same bitter draught. Subterfuge and sacrifice. Mayhap the right moral choice, but one I regard with great trepidation. The calamity of Amarot was a tragedy beyond reckoning. One which must never again come to pass. Thus must we struggle, haunted by ghosts of those we have lost, clinging to those we pray we can yet save. But what of those we cannot? How do we make peace with the dreadful algebra of necessity?
Sometimes is the right answer. Have faith in yourself and your decisions. Take heart and protect all. Well, those who can. Would that we had time to weigh the costs.
Tis a comfort to know we are of like mind in that regard.
Yep. Sometimes there's only time for actions.
I remember when last we spoke alone, and so candidly.
Yeah, because you fucking always do your own shit, never fucking talk to me.
I thank thee. For all my supposed skill with words, I find it difficult to express such private thoughts. As for the Loporrit's proposition, I will take time and consider how to respond. 'Twould be to our mutual benefit if we could converse more openly with our aspiring caretakers. A concern I should be glad to address on the Scion's behalf. To dispense with all pretense and bare one's heart to another is a frightening thing indeed. But we cannot move forward ere we take that bold first step. A lesson I have learned many times before. And today.
What are they saying? Curse these ears! I've heard barrel! No matter. We've got our plans.
Time to beat up some leopards, I guess. Just my reason for traveling hither was to effect a plan of mine own, a plan which may pave a way forward for us all. May I say, for there is no guarantee of success, 'tis the reason I set out alone, that failure, should it come, would be mine to bear alone. Yet thou standest before me with proffered hand and open heart. It would be remiss of me to refuse thy amity, and so I ask, wouldst thou join in mine endeavor? Thank thee for accompanying me. It is a simple plan in truth. We shall not be long away from Bestway Barrow. Difficult decisions must needs be made in the coming days, but I nevertheless believe we are all of one mind in our desire to save the people of Etheris. To make clear our resolve to the leopards, I would offer them a gift, but its making doth require a most singular ingredient. An abundance of Spongoi. Excellent. I chanced to spy this aggregation when crossing Zodiark's erstwhile prison. Using a spell taught to me by the Numo, I believe these shall suffice for the gift I would fashion. The magic requireth considerable concentration, however might I prevail upon thee to stand watch whilst I perform the incantation. I'm not gonna waste it. Oh. Surveying the nearby area, you see no sign of potential threats. This would be a good opportunity to see how Urianger is faring. Urianger remains fixated on his work. There, it is done. A magic ink every ounce as efficacious as that crafted by the Numo. Rare is the occasion I would conjure mine own, but is nevertheless a most useful skill. The resulting product is admittedly possessed of no preternatural properties, but its hue is one of mine own choosing, which I pray the leopards will appreciate. 1 second. Where were we? Yes, Filmina, Urianger. Oh, thank goodness that you had been eaten or had perhaps fallen into a crater. Ishtala has been looking all over for you, Filmina. She says she needs to speak with you about something most urgent, dire even. She was also quite clear that she wishes to speak with Filomena alone, which means I'm afraid you must stay behind, Rianji. But worry not, it just so happened we need your help with an errand. Delivering a package from the Watcher's Palace to Bestway's Barrow. It's quite large and heavy, perhaps even too heavy, for we poor Loporrits, and we would be ever so grateful if you could lend us a hand. How about an extra pair of hands before I go into your stolo? No, that won't be necessary. Rianji's help should more than suffice. And I'm sure you don't want to risk getting on your Stola's bad side by keeping her waiting. She seems prickly. Now, off you go. Worry not, Filomena, I shan't be long. Let me check something here real quick. Yeah, it should be today. Yeah, this Saturday, 15th. Yeah, okay. Da da da. Da da dee da dee da dee. Guiding way. Filomena, we thought you would be away for far longer. A dire emergency? I said no such thing. But as you are here, I could use your assistance with one small matter. Running Away, a companion of Growing Ways, apparently has much to tell us of the final days. The problem, however, is that he is determined to live up to his name, refusing to stay still long enough for us to hold a conversation. Is there anywhere he's likely to stop and rest, or perhaps there's a way to slow him down? What's the rush? I was thinking we should wait here, maybe enjoy a cold mug of carrot juice and... No? Well, if it's really that important, you can try using these balls of moose flesh, not to be confused with the other thing. Running Away's other notable feature is his incessant chatter, so you'll have no trouble finding him in a crowd, and when you do, try lobbing your balls at him. True, but if it proves effective, he was here in Greatest Ensvale when last I saw him. Let us split up and find him. Oh, that's smart. If this was meant to be a joke, it isn't funny. Yes, I'm Running Away. Do you mind explaining why you hit me in the face with your balls of moose flesh? Not going there. I am highly knowledgeable about the final days. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard since I woke up. All just that joke. As if we've got time to look into the final days when there's so much to do before the great voyage. It's true that Hydaelyn did impart to us some knowledge of the event, but I know about as much as any other Loporrit around here. Less, probably. I don't know why anyone would think it's fun to go around telling people I'm an expert, but they'd better hope I don't get my paws on them. Sorry, couldn't be of much help. If there's nothing else, I've got work to do. I'm off. Find neither hide nor hair of him. How did you fare? I found him. So he knows no more than the others. Care to explain yourself, growing way? Well, you see, I misremembered. Yes, that's it. I misremembered. Terribly sorry about that. Afraid I'm drawing a blank, though. Try as I might, I can't remember who I was thinking of. On an unread note, what of Oriange? I assume you spoke with him earlier, but did he say when he'll be returning? On his way to the Watcher's Palace with Livingway. Between Growingway's sudden lapse of memory and our lack of our other leads, maybe our time would be better spent lending Oriange a hand. But, now hold on a moment. It's all coming back to me. Yes, I remember. The information you're looking for is in the archives. Yes, that's where you'll find all sorts of useful information, useful knowledge, including that pertaining to the final days. Heart of the matter. What to do. I promised Livingway I would help, but... No, I promised I'd help, so that's what we'll do. The archives are on the second floor of the main plaza, the eastern wing. Follow me. Suspect the Loporrits are up to something, but if there is aught to be learned of the final days, I think it's best we play along, for now at least. Da-dum, da-da-dum. How's the teleporter? Ah, there it is. Wish all four of them would open up as teleporters, to be honest. Would make a lot more sense. Because this one doesn't really help me too much. Not way off, but it's not like super helpful. Oh, there we go. There's the symbol, I guess. Yeah. Archives are right through this door, but it seems to be locked. I guess we'll just have to go and find whoever has the key. One sec. Kinda BS, not gonna lie. Yeah, that's the Oriange stuff. Going away, enough. If you have naught else to tell us of the final days, you need only say so. We can ill afford to be wasting time here, as you well know. Did you yourselves not tell us we must act quickly? Yes, we did, but the moon was to be a perfect paradise for the people of Etheris, and we are running out of time to make everything ready for their arrival. We hoped you'd see the wonders we have to offer, but you have found nothing but faults and flaws in our work. Only one of you saw our potential, so you others must be kept here. So that's Living Way's game. Run us about in circles and, failing that, lock us away so we can't put the plan at risk. Everyone except Urianger. He understands what is at stake, what must be done. I fear you've misjudged us, Growing Way. Never have we decreed that notion of using the moon as a means of escape. That said, my heart breaks at the thought of abandoning Etheris and her reflections to their doom. If there is a way to avert the final days, I wish to find it. We all do. We may fail, but our efforts will never be at the expense of your plans. Actually, we are taking the teeny tiny boat, which would prevent people to escaping to the moon, right? So, but why would you take that risk? There's no room for ifs and maybes now. The people of Etheris will escape here to the moon. They'll be safe, and we'll finally get to see all their happy, smiling faces. I'm sorry, but we can't let you leave. We just can't. Do what you must, but try not to hurt them. I'll be back in a moment. Don't do anything rash while I'm gone. If we dally, they'll overwhelm us with sheer numbers. I say we knock these ones out, split up, and make our way to the exit. Agreed, let us reconvene where Argus awaited outside. We have to save them. Woohoo! I probably just went through the middle, right? About the same distance though. Yeah, it would not have made a difference. This guy's still here with the cinema, huh? Peter Pan Dragon. Good, you're here. You must hurry to the Watcher's Palace and find Urianger.
And what, pray tell, do we seek at the Watcher's Palace?
Oh, come off it, friend. You know full well why we're here.
Oh.
The time has come for you to return to Etheris and help your brethren prepare for their journey here and beyond.
Forgive me, Living Way, but I cannot in good conscience proceed with this plan.
What?
But what about the final days? The death and the doom? Oh, we have to hurry before it's too late.
Your unflagging commitment to your duty is endearing, to say the least.
Oh, bugger!
I love the expressions.
Be at ease. They bear you no grudge, nor do I. How could we, having come to understand your purpose?
Just stop biting
For
my
millennia,
shirt.
you and yours worked tirelessly towards the singular
Millennias.
this heavenly vessel's
A
construction.
dozen.
An arduous feat by any measure. It is clear you have spared no effort. Why, your very names are a testament to your dedication.
Our names? I'm not sure I understand what you're getting at.
Names are an expression of the self, a declaration of one's hopes and aspirations.
Oh no.
Your use of contemporary, uncomplicated nomenclature doth ensure clarity of purpose. There can be no doubt that your love for the people of Atheris is boundless and pure.
Oh no. He's gonna start naming them, right?
Yes! Yes! A most mellifluous phrasing! We Loperids were born of Hydalen's love for Atheris. That shining,
They're technically mini primals, right?
brightest star in the sky, brimming with life and possibilities. For as long as I can remember, I've toiled in anticipation of the day when this vessel might be needed. All I've ever wanted was to meet those she cherished so dearly, to serve and serve well. That goes for all of us, don't you see? So help us help them. Lead them here where we can keep them safe. If there's anything wrong with what we've built, we'll fix it. We'll make it right.
Your works want not for repair. Yet there remaineth much for you to learn of men, and your own kin besides. Singing Way, thy name bespeaketh more than the simple marriage of rhythm and rhyme. The songs of Atheris are beyond counting, and span the length and breadth of emotion. Maps are monuments to man's pioneering spirit and his devotion to charting the furthest reaches of our star. Many have devoted their lifetimes to exploratory pursuits, to venture unto the highest mountains and the deepest oceans in search of unknown frontiers. And thou, my friend, I do not think we've met.
My name is Puddingway.
Puddingway? Yes, indeed. A name of deep and abiding significance, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
But one perhaps better communicated through delicious deeds than tasteless words.
His way with words is insane.
This application of fey magics at a later juncture may be appropriate. And Living Way. It is no easy feat to convey the significance of thy moniker.
Yep.
When I was a bookish boy, a dear friend of mine was fond of peppering me with questions as I read, to my occasional annoyance. One day, I posed to her a question of mine own. What does it mean to live? After much contemplation, she proffered this answer. The anticipation of a half-read story's conclusion. The hope today's mistake may serve as tomorrow's lesson. The wish that a new acquaintance may one day call thee friend. She believed it to be all these moments and more.
I want to understand, but...
I, too, still labor to find mine own answer. 'Twould be my pleasure to assist you and yours in embarking on a journey of self-discovery and enlightenment. For thee. Ink as blue as the waters of Aetheris. Made in haste, though I assure thee, the quality has not suffered for it. The people need not be persuaded by honeyed words. Nay, I have faith they shall do what is right in due course.
Panic.
Until they do, I beg your patience, friends. And with that ink, let us fill the empty pages of Living Way's compendium. An open exchange of ideas will surely afford you all a better understanding of modern man, and with it, ideas for improvements and renovations. But more importantly, it shall empower us to together find a way forward.
I hope you're right. Thank you for this lovely gift.
There you have it. I shall remain with the Loporrits to ensure that all is in order. Though we must needs prepare for every eventuality, you would all agree that the evacuation of our star is a last resort. To accept failure is to accept the demise not only of our star, but that of Reen's, of all reflections, and the souls that call them home. Which is why I have every faith that you shall fight to the last, that such drastic measures may prove unnecessary.
Should the worst come to the worst, and I pray deeply that it won't, I'll take comfort in knowing preparations were made under your watchful eye.
Aye, thou mayest be assured that if calamity cometh, not a soul will be left behind. If being the operative term.
Oh. So the flower is always gonna glow at the end of the map, huh? That flower, how came it into your possession? Oh, very like her. Guided by its light, you may come to know her true intentions, intentions which remain a mystery even to us. In our time, we called it Elpis. You would do well to remember the name.
I hate to interrupt, but I feel like I need to make amends for all the secrecy.
Think nothing of it. We haven't been the most gracious of guests. Do convey our apologies to Growing Way and the others.
But of course! And when next we welcome more guests from Aetheris, we'll have learned to be much more hospitable hosts. Oh, and circling back to the matter of inappropriate secrecy, We ought to discuss our benefactors.
Yeah.
Agreed. The Charleyan Forum, yes?
What? How did you know?
Well,
The more I heard, the more obvious it became. The Forum's aims align closely with those of your anonymous patrons. A telling coincidence would be an understatement.
yeah.
Though had we not taken it upon ourselves to peruse certain restricted tones in Labyrinthos, we might still be unaware of their plans. But let us continue this discussion upon our return. I dare say we have kept Alphino and the others waiting long enough.
Okay. Need to finish this as a sage. It was a relief to see Livingway was pleased with my gift of ink to serve and serve well. Yep. It's nice. Though their knowledge may be lacking, their boundless love is a blessing without peer. It will be no easy task to prepare them for what must needs be done, but gladly do I embrace this duty, even if it doth necessitate that we part ways for a time. Forgive me my absence, but I have the utmost faith in you, in all our fellow scions. When next I return to Aetheris, I pray I find you all in good health and good spirits. With the Loporits and Rianja's capable hands, we needn't worry about affairs here in our absence. Knowing now the face of their earthly collaborators, there is much to discuss with Alphina and the others. Let us return to the Tower of Babel. Our battle for the star will soon begin in earnest, and we must be prepared. So that's how Xenos left. Gods, I can scarcely believe we went to the moon and back. But we'll have time to reflect on that later. Right now we need to head back to Camp Broken Glass and deliver a thoroughly detailed report to Lucia. I'd like very much to know how everyone is getting on here as well. They'd only just begun to treat the tempered prisoners when we left. I share your curiosity, but warning our allies of the final days is of greater importance. Speak not only of the contingent, of course, the heads of state of every nation must know what we have learned. We know not when or where, or in what manner the final days will begin to manifest, and so we must see that everyone is prepared. Agreed, though we may wish to stress the importance of discretion, lest the public be sent to a panic. Not that anyone in a position of responsibility should need to be told as much, but it bears repeating. Anyway, first things first, to Camp Broken Glass. It's good to see you all again. No worse for your lunar adventure, I hope. We've done what we can for now, and believe me, we intend to tell you all about it. But before you do, might you tell us what's become of Garlemald in our absence? We succeeded in subduing the tempered inside the Tower of Babel. We took many alive, but combined with those who were already in our custody, the number requiring care has grown exponentially. The inclement conditions here have made it difficult, if not impossible, to treat them all here, and so we have petitioned the aid of the allied nations. Some are understandably hesitant to proffer assistance, particularly those that were but recently subject to imperial occupation. That said, several others have agreed to grant them refuge for treatment. With the assistance of your fellow Scions, we endeavor to see them safely transported and subsequently cured of their tempering. Will all the tempered be relocated? No. Not at all, no. We have sufficient shelter to attend to those whose treatment has begun, and enough healers have volunteered to remain until their patients have recovered. Julius is one such patient, though he is not yet fit to receive visitors. Truth be told, it was a miracle he and those in his company were not harmed in the chaos. If not for Alfin and Alize's timely assistance, I dare say none of them would be with us today. In light of recent developments, have the Alliance leaders come to any decisions regarding Garlemald? Given the tremendous ramifications of what has happened here, it will take time to determine what must be done. In the meantime, they intend to work with the Eastern Alliance to keep a close watch over the provinces. We have other news to share. Shortly after Anima was defeated, we received reports that each and every tower has vanished. For a mercy, the process was apparently not quite as violent as that you experienced in Thavnir. Those who were trapped within them have been rescued and are receiving treatment. To hasten this endeavor, the beast tribes have received instructions in the magics needed to cure and tempering. Master Mato is no doubt thrilled the Mother Porxie affords her so many visitors. Yes, we are grateful for her ongoing efforts as well as those of our comrades near and far. As for the contingent, several of our members have been granted leave to return to their homelands after the transfer of Tempered has been completed. Lucia and I will remain, along with a small force, to continue offering aid to those here in Garlemald. The Emperor may be no more, but there are yet those who call these lands home. I believe that accounts for recent events here. So, what of the moon and the Telophoroi? Ooh, let me tell you. Final days. Gods, I prayed your victory would mark the end of our troubles. There is still much we do not know, but the Alliance leaders must be told. Would you be willing to contact them in our stead? Yes, of course, I will send word forthwith. We'll also release your fellow Scions from their present duties, that they may return to Charlian. Your energies are better spent finding a means to avert the coming apocalypse. Speaking of your fellow Scions, you will be happy to hear that Mistress Kral, though still on the mend, has been moved to the Baldesion Annex and given into Tataru's care. Thank you, I look forward to seeing them both upon our return. Let us be on our way then. One last thing, if I may. After your confrontation with Zodiark, you said Xenos took his leave, and in all likelihood he has returned here to Garlemald. I have a mind to dispatch scouts to try and ascertain his whereabouts, but first wish to ask if you believe there is merit in doing so. If they found him, they would not likely live to tell the tale. If you're expecting a trail of destruction to follow, you won't find one. You are the only foe he considers worthy. And even if my men found him, who but you could even hope to bring low that monster? Pray forget I entertained the notion. While on the subject of Xenos, the 10th Legion has made an official proclamation. They denounce the Crown Prince and condemn his role in the Empire's downfall. His very title has become a source of shame among his former subjects, and its continued use serves only to hinder relations with foreign nations. For this reason, he has been declared a Xenos Viator Galvus, outcast and enemy of Garlemald. When Daniel is no more and now his own people turn against him, it seems he's not but his bloodlust to keep him company. Better that than an army to see it sated. At any rate, I will not keep you longer. I pray you safe passage back to Charleon. Just teleport to build this in an X. Enix. Kryl. Welcome back, Filmina. We were so terribly worried about you. Though it is plain I have caused my own fair share of worry, and for that I apologize. Adeline called to me that day when you entered the Tower of Babel. Her pleas were faint but desperate, and I knew at once she required a vessel to carry out her will. What came after feels like a dream barely remembered. My body flowing through the live stream towards God. Okay, so she flowed through the live stream. Okay. When I get consciousness, I was all aches and frostbite, exhausted of ether. So exhausted, in fact, I could only laugh, for it was in that moment I understood Raha's weariness from the Tower of Zot. Would that I could laugh at a time like this. Though we prevented Zodiac from being unleashed upon the world, I am curious to know what else took place there on the moon. Perhaps we should wait for the others to join us before you give your account. Let us reconvene in the main hall once they have arrived. Sorry to have kept you all waiting. Not at all, we understand you've been quite busy. Will Ryanja be joining us? Nope. Didi keeps him away, I'm afraid, though Filmina can explain why better than I. Final days, as befell Amarot. And we are to escape via the moon. What of the source and its reflections? I have no intention of standing by while the world falls to ruin. So, how do we stop this? Unfortunately, we have no answers at present. If the celestial currents have grown stagnant, as was the case in the time of Amarot, the solution would be to alter the flow of ether throughout the entirety of the star. The ancients accomplished this by summoning Zodiac, sacrificing half the star's population in the doing, but it should go without saying that such a sacrifice cannot be repeated. Which leaves us with the daunting task of identifying the underlying catalyst for the final days, a feat which even the Amarotians could not accomplish. Unfortunately, we found no clues in Mare Lamentorum. There is still much we do not know about the catastrophe itself, let alone what may have caused it. The final days were marked by the corruption of the Amarotians' creation magics, but we command no such power, which invites the question, what havoc is in store for us? If we knew that much, perhaps we could draw some parallel with the events of the past, and thereby form some semblance of a plan. Perhaps we should start with the Forum, then. Having worked with the Loporites in secret all this time, there is surely more they can tell us. Forgive the interruption, but I have urgent news. The forum is holding a public assembly in the plaza outside, some sort of announcement. What is Father up to now? There's only one way to find out. Order! Order! It does look weird when they walk the steps, doesn't it? Order! Order! Order!
Order! Order, I say!
But his voice actor looks exactly what this guy would sound like.
I thank you all for gathering here on such short notice. This day we must speak of grave affairs and their implications for the future of Sharlayan, nay, of this very star. Said affairs concern all citizens, and so we have called for a public assembly. You may have heard rumors of the Talopheroi and the havoc these madmen wreak abroad. Under normal circumstances, we would pay little heed to petty disturbances outside our borders. The final days, however, are another matter altogether. For we dare not ignore these prophetic words of Eld. The Endbearers will come, ushering chaos and calamity. The final days descend and devour the very star.
I've never heard this prophecy.
Order!
True. Will all that really happen?
Order!
Calm yourselves. The time has come to speak of the Forum's most sacred duties. But first...
Give voice to the voiceless. Let bindings be unbound. By unanimous decree, I declare the enchantment broken.
Time to speak.
Master Leveilleur, if you would.
Very well. "270 years ago, our forebears began an expedition in the Dravanian hinterlands, in search of a route to access the ethereal sea. This much is public knowledge. Their findings, however, would become the Forum's most closely guarded secret. What those researchers discovered in the hinterlands was not a passage unto the ethereal sea, but the very heart of our star, and Hydaelyn herself. She spoke to them of a calamity that would extinguish all life, and of a means by which we might be spared. The moon. 'Tis in truth a gargantuan vessel built to serve as sanctuary for her children and deliver them from this doom. Much like Nunkref's hope in ages past, it will bear the people of a world in the throes of death to a new home.
Needless to say, this will be no small undertaking. To facilitate the great work, the Forum has maintained close contact with the servants of Hydaelyn, who presently reside on the moon. Convinced that the foretold end was all but inevitable, we began amassing a wealth of knowledge, not merely for the betterment of our nation, but in preparation for the journey to come.
You reveal this to us now? By the gods, how long do we have?
Order.
While we cannot say with certainty, we believe the hour to be nigh. We received a transmission from the moon suggesting as much not long ago. Which is why we must in earnest begin preparations for the great exodus. For his impressive contributions and the leadership he demonstrated during our withdrawal from Dravania, we have elected Master Leveilleur to oversee this initiative.
Fellow scribes and scholars, my countrymen, we face a threat of unprecedented scale. We must challenge the trials before us with composure and conviction if we are to find salvation. The wisdom of Sharlayan has ever been a shining beacon in the darkness, and so it shall continue to be. It is our solemn charge to see our heritage preserved for future generations. For those who will come after, we will brave a new frontier.
Administrative edicts will be relayed to all major institutions ere long. In the meantime, carry on with your duties. With that, I hereby call this assembly to a close.
Order. Order, I say. Oh, this guy get a scar. Was he fighting something? Thought fighting is not allowed.
Do you remember what Mother told us when we visited home? That it wasn't until after we were born that Father seemed to lose himself in his work.
Yep.
If that great work of his was the evacuation of this star, then...
Yes. It wasn't for his benefit. Would you mind waiting here a moment? I wish to speak with Father before we leave.
Keep it civil, eh?
I may look daggers at him, but I will neither speak nor draw them.
Okay.
If it's all the same to you, I have a few choice words to share with Father as well.
So, come to call us cowards and bid us join your fruitless battle against the inevitable?
Not at all.
Nay, we do not object to the Forum's proposal. On the contrary, those who wish to flee have every right to do so. Urianger is cooperating with your associates on the moon to ensure that all is ready should evacuation be our only recourse.
Then whatever your business, I suggest you be brief.
Jesus Christ, bro.
Though we cannot boast the boundless wisdom of Sharlayan, we have first-hand knowledge of foreign cultures, and have conversed with no small number of peoples. These experiences have taught us fundamental truths that cannot be recorded in any tome, nor charted on any map. The beating heart of this planet is its people, many of whom would give anything, even their lives, to protect the lands they love. Many may choose to join you in the end. But what of those unwilling or unable, for whom escape will never be an option? What would you have them do? To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, Father. It is indolence. This is why we choose to fight.
Spoken like
You'll not ask for
the
your understanding,
grandson.
Father. Only that you don't turn a blind eye to the good we have done. That we can still do. We're not children in need of protection. Hold fast to your principles and let the world burn if it please. But we believe there is still another way. And if there is, we will find it. You see if we don't.
Do as you will. Just stay out of our way.
That hit a chord, didn't it? Remind him of somebody, maybe?
Were he not so consumed with self-righteousness, he might tell you how proud he is of you both.
Oh, so she saw through it?
Call for bold action. And there'll be no turning to your father should plans go awry.
It's okay, they got you, Estinian.
So long as there are those who wish to stay and fight for this star, we have to do what we can to help them.
And if we're to do that, we'll need to be well rested.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you agree? And having triumphed over what we once thought to be the source of all evil, I can think of no one in greater need of at least a dozen winks.
As if we got time for that shit. World is about to burn.
Shall we then? To the annex. To prepare for tomorrow.
Alright. I dig. Cool. Oh, I gotta pee so bad, so I'll be right back. Whee. Now we chill. What's that? Oh, a bottle fell. Alright. Oh, yeah, can't. Crowd tells me the forum made a rather momentous announcement, so there's to be a great exodus, is there? A reminder of my narrow escape from the Isle of Al. The realization, the running, the mixture of relief and regret after. Why me? I asked myself. Why me? Why us? Why now? Why wonder? There's no use fretting over the cosmic morality or lack thereof. We are here and we'll get through this together, and who knows, maybe my luck will rub off and grant everyone a narrow escape. There's no harm in praying for as much. Oh, but enough of my rambling. I'm sure you're exhausted. Your chamber awaits. What level are these? 84. Just come knocking at your door. Whoever could it be? Well, this is the one? Okay. Let's go with Thancred. Oh, Thancred. Fuck it. The infamous door knock.
Evening. I hoped you hadn't crawled beneath the covers just yet.
Mm-hmm.
If you'll indulge me for a moment, I have a favor to ask.
Sure.
Don't worry. Nothing desperate or dire, if that's what you were wondering. Not yet. You know, we may have quite literally entered our final days. The ancients went so far as to call it that for a reason. If so, then everything we did for Reen, for the first, will have been meaningless. And I can't accept that. I just can't.
True.
My mind won't allow for the possibility. And that could be a problem. When we're in the thick of it, I don't know if I've got it in me to be pragmatic this time. To run, even if running's the right choice. The only choice. So if you see me turning a blind eye to the harsh reality, beat some sense into me, would you? I trust you and the other Scions with my life. And I'd like to think the feeling is at least occasionally mutual.
Well, I mean, occasionally, bro, of course.
And I never forgive myself if my stubbornness put them in danger.
Okay.
Gods, listen to me. Beginning to sound like the father I never had. So, can I count on you to keep me in line?
That
I
cred.
think of no one else more eminently qualified. Excellent. Now I can breathe a bit easier. Which isn't to say that I will, given what we're up against. Let's keep this little chat our secret. I'd rather not have anyone scolding us for burning the midnight oil.
Any other knocks? Short while earlier in the Alamigan quarter.
Thank the gods that tower is gone. The sight of it was enough to make me sick.
Thank the Ilsebar contingent, more like. Word is, they fought their way into Garlemald and toppled the bloody thing themselves. Not just the one, neither. All the towers have up and vanished.
Aye, I heard the same. Commander Aldin and his troops helped keep casualties to a minimum, too. But is it true they brought back tempered Garlean soldiers?
As Commander Aldin tells it, they've a treatment for that now. But don't you worry. Cured or not, they've no plans to bring them into the city proper.
I see. Well, that's a relief then. I know we've brothers and sisters among the lot, but I can't say I'm eager to welcome them home.
Wanted to think about it for a while yet. They're to be looked after in Alagana for the time being.
Uh-oh. Meanwhile, Nishgard. Hey, look at this. The Dark Knight trainer.
Of paramount importance.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what have we here? Hey, are you all right?
She's just drunk as fuck.
Was that? No. The shadows play tricks, nothing more. The towers are gone, and the Garlean threat is abated. And yet, why does it feel as though it's about to get much, much worse?
Oh. That's where it starts, Razatan. Some action music, let's go. Some shit's about to get down music, more like. Sky's aflame. Ah, Filmina, I was just about to call you. I'm afraid we have received another call for assistance. This one comes from Razatan. The others have assembled in the main hall to discuss the situation. You must join them at once. Ah, there you are. Had to sleep in. Or the veiled late night visitor. Our worst fears have come to pass, but moments ago we received grim tidings from our contact in Radzatan. Valbeasts have appeared as if out of nowhere, claiming one victim after the next. What's more, they say the very sky burns above them. Good gods, the final days are already upon us. It appears so. Sadly, that is all the information we have at present. No doubt the people of Radzatan are busy fighting for their lives. Then we must go at once. They need our help. Agreed. Kral, you'd best remain here with the Taru and gather what knowledge you can. You are still in no condition for a long journey, I imagine. Very well. Similar phenomena may have been observed elsewhere, and if so, we must know about it at once. Be safe out there, yes? Let us make first for Yedil Limad. We must prepare ourselves for what may lie ahead.
And lo, vile beasts did rise. Leaving naught in their wake but blood and ash. Sun scorches earth and boils seas. And our sins ascend unto the heavens. Three dooms to unmake all we were.
The sky burns. The final days are truly upon us.
My friends, I trust you have heard the news.
We have. What can you tell us of the situation, Your Excellency?
Last night, the Isle was rocked by tremors, and the earth itself cried out.
So far, so consistent, yeah?
Aloft, the heavens began to burn. From all about, unholy beasts, the likes of which we had never seen, came forth in fury and rage. No. To say they came forth would be inexact. The people of Radzatan themselves transformed into these baleful fiends. Though the phenomenon was observed throughout our lands, the first creature, the largest and most dreadful of the lot, wrought havoc upon us here in our fair city. Though they bear superficial resemblance to divinities of legend, they are ungodly abominations. The people decry them as blasphemies. The Large One's rampage has since taken it to the northern reaches of the island. I mean to dispatch our radiant host in an attempt to quell the threat.
And what of Vritra?
Vritra too makes for the north of his own accord, and yet he knows the blasphemy and its minions were but yesterday his beloved people. boundless compassion and mercy does not deter him from taking unenviable but necessary action.
Understood. I ask that you allow us to aid you in quelling this threat.
You would risk your lives to help us yet again? I have no words to express my gratitude. Our regiments approach the north from several directions, with a number of units set to depart from the docks of Jedlimad. They will make landfall in an area of dense jungle, where one can expect to encounter dangers even beyond the fell beasts we hunt. I leave you to your preparation. You will find me at the docks when you are ready to depart.
We're as prepared as we'll ever be. Let's go.
Everyone gave their nod of approval. Shit. Everyone has assembled. Yes, I thank you for lending us your aid in our battle against the blasphemy. Let us review our plan of attack. I would have you board this boat and circle around to the north side of the island. There you will find a dense jungle we call Vanaspati. It is a sacred wood, home to many temples and a number of villages. Vritra and the Radiant Hosts have gone there ahead of us. I ask that you join them and do all in your power to destroy this blasphemy. Okay, so that's where the dungeon starts. Sounds good. Hey, instant baby. Let's go.
My friends, heed me. These are children of darkness. Forgive me. I could do them no harm. If this is the only way,
Jesus Christ, he's taking so much damage. I don't know if the mobs here just deal so much damage or like this tank just under geared or something. I don't know what's going on. It's 530. He's under geared, I guess, yeah. Well, me too, but whatever. Not substantially under geared though, so it's not that big of a deal. I love that I never managed to click the target I want to jump to when I need it the most. Come on. Hey, level up, let's go.
What is this vile presence I sense?
Big crit, holy shit. There's a delay in getting in there, I guess. All right. Easy peasy. Oh shit. Oh, that's fucked up. It's like it ate itself and came out of itself. Interesting creation. Okay, opposites, got it, okay. That is a weird fucking creature. It's like he had his head, and then from his head it split it open, came out the other same type of head. It's such a weird creature if you think about it. It's like maybe like a snake inside of a snake kind of thing, and the snake that was inside ripped the other snake open. I mean, look at this, right? Like a face in the face. Interesting creation. Yeah, I'll give it to you, I guess. And greet, can't greet. Here's the pass. The horrors, what'd you say? The horrors of Amarat born anew. This must be the blasphemy they spoke of. Must be. Can't. Well, let me at least remove my headpiece so I can at least see my expressions. Oh, 2 commendations? Hell yeah, brother, let's go. Svarbanu. Svarbanu.
As I feared.
Huh?
What is it?
The beast was there, and now it is no more. Yes?
Indeed. We saw it plain. But you didn't, did you?
There was no ether.
I saw nothing. Not the blasphemy that perished here, nor the other men turned beasts. And because of this, I now see all too well. There is no ether. Where the creatures should be, I saw naught but emptiness.
Emptiness? But that would mean...
Recall the words of the Watcher. 'Twas a stagnancy of ether, a cessation of flow, leading to decay and absence, that led the ancients to conclude their star was dying. This is the same phenomenon. The instant these people are seized by the transformation, their ether begins to rot and crumble away like dried mud. Until, from their corporeal forms to their very souls, naught remains.
But the beast spoke with its dying breath. Surely at least a sliver of the man it was endured.
Mayhap so. But even if the process was incomplete, it was little more than a faint residue.
Gods be good. You're saying they cannot be saved?
Not by any means known to me. Or by any means at all, like as not. For there is naught left to save.
Yeah.
They return not even to the ethereal sea.
Look at all the sperm lying around.
The beasts rage on, their hunger insatiable. Even deprived of their master, they perpetuate his legacy of hate. Once proud sons and daughters of Thavnir, all of them, and now I spill their blood.
Vitra, my friends, I am heartened to see you safe. You put your secret at risk.
Yeah, well.
Those closest to me already know the truth. A truth I must now share with one and all.
Vitra, calamity has come to Radzatan. Our fair nation is rent by screams of pain and despair. More than ever, we require a strong leader to shepherd us through the storm. Reveal your true self to our people, Vitra, and guide us to salvation.
What madness is this, I-One? Thou dost forget thyself. Were we to reveal our duplicity, it would do naught but foster confusion and chaos. Nay, I shall remain the Satrap's loyal ally, and do battle with the beasts. Easing hearts and leading the people to safety is thy task, and thine alone. I ask that you remain at Ahewan's side, and render unto him what aid you may. I know not what lies ahead, but without you, Radzatan will not survive.
Take me with you. I am as at home fighting in the air as I am on land. Take me with you.
Were my words unclear? I require no assistance. Thy place is at Ahewan's side.
Estinian, here. The last thing you ever wanted. A link pearl. We'd gain much from knowing your elevated perspective. And it'll keep you from getting lonely, which I know you loathe.
You heard the man. Seems I'm coming with you after all.
Then I pray thy grip is iron. Be it on thy head if thou dost chance to fall.
Fair enough. Now, shall we?
I fear it is as Vitra says. We will not survive this on our own. While I am loath to impose upon you again.
I would insist if you did not. 'Tis the very reason we have come.
Fair enough.
Then once more I find myself without words to thank you properly. Let us return to the capital and plan our next course of action.
Alright, house has eliminated the immediate threat to the city, though it pains me to know those beasts were once my own people. There's no telling when or where the next transformation might occur. We must remain vigilant and steel ourselves for whatever is yet to come. 86 and 87. And I'll need to be 87 for the dungeon. So Samurai is fine. Okay, I think that's it for Final Fantasy today. I got a bunch of editing to do. I got a bunch of reactions to do, so I'm done with the stream. And yeah. And we'll be back tomorrow morning, like as not. So it sound like a Final Fantasy 14 character. Let's see, what do I need to do right now? So I got all these videos. So I need let's see, new folder. The moon. This is 16. 16 is the moon. And then we need another folder. 17. What's a ton? Part 2. Then after this, I think I have 18 should be Elpis, I believe. And then 19 should be Garlemald Part 2. Pretty sure. And then Space Journey and Space Prep. Yep. No. Yeah, yeah. So that's it for the stream. Right. See how many videos I got here. A shit ton. I need to also. These ones are already uploaded. These two I need to upload. And then each day I'll be uploading the voice acted of each patch or zone from Shadowbringers. And by the time I'm done with that, EndWalker should be done, and I would have the emotional roller coaster videos from EndWalker, as well as each zone voice acted. That should be enough for about 2 weeks. And also the reacts in between. Yeah, should have enough videos for the next 3 weeks at least. Awesome. Cool. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next stream, which is tomorrow morning. Hell yeah. Peace out.